Okay, it's not me. It's not me. This is Socrates, and he is feeling very happy. Very happy. Do you know why? Because I talked about him in my class today. This is Socrates. I got him in Athens. I carried him all around Europe because I couldn't put it in my bag. I love Socrates. And I figured that he could help me here. I'll hold him right here because it's, kind of like to pet him a little bit here, but he likes it too. Okay, so talking today about the very first day of AP government, we're talking today about the ideas of antiquity, what the ancients would call idealpolitik, and this notion that our politics and the way that we look at politics from a modern perspective is very different than the Greeks. People like Plato and Aristotle looked at politics. Nowadays, we bandy about words like rights and liberty and freedom and equality, all of these terms, and we definitely have meaning there, and these are definitely things that we're going to talk about in great detail this year. And yet the Greeks, I would argue, in many ways had a much more sophisticated understanding of how a just society is created. As Plato argues in the Republic, the ultimate goal, the Greek for this, the sonum bonum, the highest good in politics is justice. And in America, we have a different view of justice than what the Greeks did. The Greeks believed that a just society could not be indifferent to the inner life of man, that essentially character is destiny, as Heraclitus once said. So that in the Greek worldview, if you want a just society, you have to make sure that the citizens of that society themselves are just. And that's why politics can't just be concerned with exterior actions, as Locke and Jefferson later write about, who say that, we can't worry about what people think or their virtue or their values or their morality. The Greeks said nonsense. If you want a just state, then that society has to be filled with just citizens. And in the politics, Aristotle says that that man by his very nature is a political animal. In other words, we are social creatures. We want to be around other human beings. And if we're going to live in groups, which Aristotle says is the natural end of the human dynamic, is to be together in societies, in what they would call the polis. If we want to be together as a society, we have to learn how to live together, and that requires a certain amount of virtue. And so the purpose of politics is not to protect rights, is not to further individual freedom or claims of liberty. The purpose of politics is to teach moral virtue. The Greek word for that is arete. So that if individuals have virtue, if they have essentially their reason controlling their desire or their thymos, by having reason and passion to control our desires and our ego and our pride, that allows us to exercise our freedom more fully. So again, the Greeks would say to be good is to be free. If you have virtue, then you are not a slave to your passions. You're not a slave to your ego or your desires. And that allows you to self-actualize, to be the person you want to be. So in the Greek worldview, justice requires virtue. And the purpose of politics is to elevate human nature, is to perfect human nature. And so it's a very different view than what we're going to see the rest of the year. But I hope this is a nice summary of what they call idealpolitik and the political views of the ancients. This is Mr. Adams and Socrates signing off.